Hi Cru, this is Dennis, your Bridges ambassador. And today I want to talk with you about 1 Corinthians chapter 12, especially verses 12 through 27. The overall context of this chapter is spiritual gifts that Paul outlines and how God gifts each believer. And after he lists a bunch of them, the gifts of the Spirit, what he also calls the activities of the Spirit and the ministries of the Spirit, he then come to verse 12, he starts using a metaphor of the human body as to compare us to the greater body of Christ, which we call the church. And it's pretty self-explanatory that in verse 15, he said, if the foot should say, because I am not a hand, I do not belong to the body. I mean, we all know how important our feet are and our hand, and how together we need to function as a whole unit, not just individual little pieces out there doing whatever they can do. So, but let me ask you a question. How did you become a member of this church, which we call the body of Christ? How did you become part of that body? We all have our testimonies of when we believed, but as you think about that, I want you to consider verse 13, where he says, in one spirit we were all baptized into one body, Jews, Greeks, slaves or free, and we're all made to drink of one spirit. What does that say about how you and I became members of this body of Christ? And as you think about that, I want to ask you to also connect that to verse 18, where Paul says, God arranged the members of the body, each one of them as he chose. So that really does put a different spin on this idea of elevating one gift above another. It's pretty easy for us to look at preachers and teachers and say, boy, that's the really important gift. But is it really true? And here's another question for you. What are the consequences of doing that? The consequences of elevating one gift above another. Is that really, where does that take us? And is that where we want to go? So as you think about it, I pray that God will give you his wisdom and you'll come to the very best conclusion and it'll be a blessing to your life. God bless. Bye.